for Windy Watch. And of course, for that, we welcome in our NBA insider, Brian Windhorst. Windy, give us 3 things we should be keeping an eye on in the NBA right about now.
Well, Graz, you know this is NBA Cup quarterfinal day, and there's a big game tonight in Houston between the Warriors and Rockets. And one of the most important players to watch in the league right now, believe it or not, is Jonathan Kuminga. And the reason I say that is that the Warriors have been sniffing around making a star player transaction for almost a year now. And right now, they're basically making the final analysis on Jonathan Kuminga. Are they going to keep him or are they going to move him? Over the last 2 weeks, he's moved into the starting lineup. He's averaged 21 points and 5 rebounds and almost 50% shooting in those games. And let's see, this also could be terms of showcase, depending. Now, who would they potentially be showcasing him for? That's a good question to ask. One of the most important names to watch between now and the February trade deadline isn't just Jonathan Kuminga, it's also Jimmy Butler down in Miami. Jimmy Butler is really, since last spring, when the Heat made it clear they were not going to extend his contract, we were probably headed for an ending of the ways between the Heat and Jimmy Butler. I wouldn't say it's a done deal yet, but I think teams are starting to kick the tires there and look and see what it might take, and the Warriors are one of them. The Warriors have been really active in trying to look for a star player. They kicked the tires on a couple other stars over the...
Prosciutto Gouda Manchego queso de bola ham kani.
LeBron James, and I know that this is one of the most fascinating team, Dan. They're 26th in the league. There's only 30 teams, okay? The teams below them are all awful at the bottom of the standings. It's actually an accomplishment that they're 2 games over 500 with a defense as bad as they have. So any transaction they make has got to be for players who can play defense. And specifically, they need a big man. Their big man situation right now, after Anthony Davis is really in tatters. They've been playing 2-way guys because of injuries and lack of depth there. And then when I talk to executives in the league, they say when the Lakers have had conversations, they've actually been looking for a guard too. They're looking for a guard who can defend. They have D'Angelo Russell who could be used in a trade. And so they need defensive players. But, you know, I got to tell you, the Lakers have not made a significant transaction trade-wise in almost 2 years. So this is an old story with the same roster, basically achieving the same way.
So what happens if they don't do what LeBron wants them to do? Like, is there a world where they do make a move, where he does end up at some place like Golden State? Is that at all possible at this point?
I'm a gigantic actions over words guy, Dan. And LeBron's actions at last year's trade deadline when he rejected the interest in the Warriors, last summer he sat there and offered to take less money from the Lakers if they could find somebody in free agency. They didn't. And then he went ahead and signed a 3-year contract with a no-trade clause anyway. All of those actions make it extremely clear he wants to be a Laker. That said, we have 2 months, basically 2 months from right now is when the trade deadline is. If he changes his mind, I promise you it will get public and we will all know. But right now, he wants to be a Laker and he's focused on having the Lakers help him get some defensive play.
Welcome to John Crowder's show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back again with another sports show, joining you live from a spot here in the Battery, Atlanta, Georgia. If you ever get time, come check us out. Want to make sure you understand that if you want to see some of the most up-to-date clips, shows, Stephen A. Smith, First Take, Pat McAfee, go ahead and tune in. Every day we're dropping clips and even live shows. So take the time to go ahead, like, subscribe, and even share this content. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content to you free. And also we're going to be giving away live tickets to sporting events. And we'll be live on set at the NCAA Championship, the Final Four. And also we'll be live at the Super Bowl this year. So if you want to win free tickets, make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned. Put the alert bell on. We're going to keep you up to date with NFL, MLB, soccer, baseball, hockey, all sports, and even giving you free picks on parlays that we hit very often. So go ahead and stay locked in, because if you blink, you'll miss it. Again, I'm John Crowder, and thanks for tuning in. What are some of the most iconic sports for you as far as moments? One of the most iconic sports moments for me was definitely when the Falcons lost the Super Bowl. Even though I'm a Falcons fan, it was heartbreaking, but it was definitely memorable. So that was one of the most memorable, ugliest moments for me as a sports fan. Go ahead and drop in the chat what your most memorable moment in sports was, and we'll be sure to comment and respond to that. One other thing, we definitely want to let you know that we do have sports picks, and we will be putting them in the chat. Our sports picks come with a lot of knowledge, a lot of historical data, and just a lot of professionalism. So if you want to start hitting some of those bets, make sure you follow our picks, and we'd definitely like to help you out on that. All right, this channel is completely free. We don't have any sponsors, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share this to get more content like this and to help us put out more content. Again, I'm John Crowder, and I'm joining you live from the Battery in Atlanta. Stay tuned for more episodes, more shows, and more content.